What is up, YouTube? We are back with the Covenant 25 streak series. Now, a quick side note, we did actually lose the streak and have to restart. What I've realized over the last couple weeks is that Conduit Tethys, while really strong, has a very small percentage chance of actually just being able to have no ways to win a run. When you go into that first fight and you only have two different decisions that you've made before it, sometimes you just can't work it out with the cards you've been given. To retool here, we went all the way to the other end of the spectrum from a spell-based deck to a creature-based deck using Shardtail Queen and Primitive Mold from the Melting Remnant Exiled starter. This combo is extremely powerful, but it is a little wonky. There's a lot of game actions to take, and the main thing it actually has going for it in terms of power level is that this little guy, Molten Encasement, is a common. I have no clue why they decided to put it in here at this rarity, but this little sucker just bops people. A lot of bosses just never get to attack you. On top of the streak loss, we also had some recording errors when switching over from OBS to Streamlabs OBS that caused me to lose a lot of footage, so this run will be from much later in the streak. If you want to ask me any questions, just feel free to throw them in the comments below. And if you want to see these runs being made live, go over and check out my Twitch channel, which is linked over there. I actually put them to the right place this time. I'd also really appreciate a follow over there on Twitch. It not only helps me out a lot, but it'll let you know when I'm online because not all of my streams are on the schedule. Some of them are a little more freeform. With all that being said, you guys have a great rest of your day and keep your trains rolling. Alright, Seraph the Chaste is only mildly annoying. I guess it's one of the tougher ones for this deck to deal with, though it's generally the weakest Seraph. Arcus is not really a problem except for the Shattering Dark Shards. The Hellborn Harvest is really annoying. And this start is not great. This is the Days and Sap Telos. Okay. It's not great cards to start with here. And not a great follow-up either. I'll take boons. Oh. Alright, Imperialist. I would preferred Rally there since I already have the double vent. But this is fine. I shouldn't have a problem dealing with waves thanks to Imperialist. The boss is actually a bit of a problem. How much do I need this unit draft? I can take Hellhorn Banner Merchant of Steel. In fact, well, I might actually want Merchant Magic Forgotten boons. That's close. Hellhorn Banner Merchant of Steel lets me try to set up something to dupe in the Hellvent in the following zone. But Merchant of Magic Forgotten boons, the Forgotten boon is probably the most valuable of these four things, and I at least have something to power upgrade thanks to the events. I'm not sure. I think I want to take this. I don't think that the enemies having extra health is going to cost me way too much. It might cause a couple extra hits from Discipled Foot Soldiers. But the Blacksmith, what is this? Boon of the Blacksmith? There's a lot of boons going on here. Boon of the Blacksmith is going to help me deal with things if they get up before I lose too much health at least. Set up middle floor probably. One mid. Train Steward on top to clean up a collector if it spawns there. Alright. Now I throw one imp away for blocking. One in the back to sweep the Discipled Foot Soldier, and then I'll start working on this wave with the third Queen's Impling. I do have all of my primitive molds still in the deck, so I'd rather just get Queen's Implings out here. Alright, primitive mold, guaranteed a Queen's Impling, which is sweet because that blocks 2 hits. One Queen's Impling on the back end, and then I can still actually just throw 1/2 block here. Need Shardtail Queen healthy. Alright, Queen's Impling. Could extend its life. I mean, might as well. There's not much else I'm doing with this. Train Steward behind it. Or in front of it, I mean. And then vent. Does the most damage. Oh, if I had a Train Steward there, that would have been bad. Okay. Train Steward to block. Queen's Impling. You want to put it right here, because if you put it behind Shardtail Queen, it gets sacrificed before it gets its attack off. You might as well get the free attack. dealing 66. I think I'll end up doing more on average with the primitive molds. Yeah. Though I do have a pretty wide range of things, so a lot of things are just going to come in with Burnout 1. Well, Purifying Cleanse helps with that. Alright. I'll take one hit. It's not bad at all. First copy of Molten Gip is really solid. Sacred Wicks is also just fine. I'm going to need to generate more imps. Greater ability to block. And churn through reforming. That way I can hit higher quality reform targets overall. When you're using random reform, the more random reform you have, the more it becomes like targeted reform. Whereas targeted form has steep diminishing returns because you can get the thing you want back off the first one. Though targeted reform cards are generally better. Wickless Tycoon is not bad right off the bat. It can make me a decent amount of money. It doesn't scale well into the late game. And damage output is really my problem. I'm probably going Hellhorn Banner Merchant of Steel. I'm a bit concerned about not having enough damage, which inclines me to take the Horned Warrior. I'm going to take Horned Warrior. Try to set up some kind of good dupe here. Quick, damage, and health. Another Horned Warrior, that seems a bit excessive. Card's not really that great. I might even just put damage health on the first one. I can't reroll and be able to buy a rare upgrade. So I get set up for a decent dupe on this. And I want the Remnant Banner a bit more. The ability to get Wickless Baron is really strong. So let's make sure we're good for a dupe here. It's just kind of a mediocre unit, but it'll do a lot for us in the early game. And the second copy will too. Mark of Invasion is a little bit annoying here, but I do have double Vant, a bunch of Queen Simplings, that should be fine. And the Horned Warrior, which I'm guaranteed to draw, is tanky enough to survive a hit anyways. This is a problem. So all 7 of these units are going to merge on top floor next turn. I'm going to need some kind of way to deal with that. For now, I just need to... I could Shardtail Queen, Horned Warrior, bottom floor. Let Shardtail Queen take a bunch of damage. I think I need Horned Warrior in front. This wave does less than this one. Still leaves a slot open for me to throw imps behind her. The event, come on. There's the vent. Sweet. Probably losing Horned Warrior here, and there's not much I can do about it. I can still sweep. Oh, actually, he does live with a single Queen Zimpling in the back. If I throw Queen Zimpling in front, I can actually preserve his health to a pretty great degree here. Let's go ahead and get a Train Steward on top to clean up this Conduit Infiltrator next turn. That's a big vent. Alright. Primitive Mold gets me a Queen Zimpling. I'll just go ahead and throw it on top. It'll die, and that's fine. And then Train Steward, Train Steward. So I really need to get the single sweep off of my champ here. That's the most important thing. I might go ahead and Purify and Cleanse the Horned Warrior. Just need the tankiness right now. So now 5, 9, 10. He hits himself down to... So he hits himself, goes 12, puts him down to 10. Oh, interesting. I might... Yeah, I can actually... if I block with Queen's Impling, it actually kills itself on... No, it doesn't kill itself on spikes. Yeah, it does. Oh, wait, it kills the Clergyman. So 4, 5, yeah, 6, 7. Okay, this works best. It gets its head off and then it gets sacrificed. Okay. Just gotta do the math. The math is important. Alright. Took a solid hit for 9. But that's kind of just to be expected when you take Mark of Invasion. Second copy of Molting Imp. I think I'm reaching a certain level of redundancy with this, though the Fledgling Imp is kind of mediocre. Fledgling Imp is the one imp where it doesn't really... Having a single copy of it doesn't really do that much for you. In fact, they have really steep increasing returns, compounding returns. I think this is a skip. There's Molten Encasement. Alright. Despite the fact that I'm facing Seraph the Chase, Molten Encasement is still kind of insane, especially if you get Burnout and Endless on it. You can outrace Seraph regardless. Looks like left side. Look for the Wickless Baron, get a dupe on my Horned Warrior. Possibly get some event to enhance the Horned Warrior before the dupe also. If I can make him one size, that'd be pretty sweet. Wickless Tycoon and Paraffin Thug. I think Wickless Tycoon does a little bit more for me right now. I can set him up alongside the Horned Warrior and use my sweeping effects on the floor with both of them. I'm going to take it. It's going to cost me later. It's a little bit of an investment, but it's also... I mean, it's paying me as I go. The unit just does not scale well into the late game. Trap Shoot and Steel Pulley Claw. Steel Pulley Claw is kind of nice. I think this is... Well, Steel Pulley Claw with the boons is really, really strong. That hits pretty hard. Yeah. I think having a removal spell for a big unit is really important right now, given that I have sweeping effects covered extremely well. I'll take Pulley Claw. Dupe the Horned Warrior. Tempting to dupe the Molten Encasement, but I don't already have the upgrades on it. And the odds I get double Burnout, double Endless are not too amazing. Alright, so we have the Strike Daze Talos, so throwing chump blockers is kind of the name of the game here. Thinking Shardtail Queen on top. Horned Warrior mid, try to get Wickless Tycoon mid, go ahead and throw away a Train Steward. I can't actually throw away the Train Steward that effectively. I might play on bottom here. So, Horned Warrior here. Train Steward here, Shardtail Queen top. I can just let her daze and hit the Horned Warrior. It actually does less to me than... It does less to me than having Horned Warrior get hit by 2 of these. That seems fine. Let's go ahead and get Train Steward out in case I draw a Primitive Mold next turn. Okay. About to make a lot of money. Making money moves. Okay, I'm going to vent this floor. So, probably just Queen's Impling. Save the health on my champ. I do have the second Horned Warrior. That's probably just going on bottom, soften up waves. Thinking about this Steel Pulley Claw. Probably just... If I Steel Pulley Claw and Queen's Impling middle floor, I don't get the Horned Warrior down on the board, but the Queen's Impling dies, I get to kill both of the Disciple Foot Soldiers, and I take no damage on that middle floor. That's a pretty good turn. I have a 50-50 shot to achieve a similar thing with the Primitive Mold, but that's a bit risky. That was the wrong order. Holy cow, guys. I could reset that. Generate 5 more gold. Or I can just play Horned Warrior Primitive Mold, live with my mistake. Have the Horned Warrior set up. It's actually not a bad play. It does soften up a Forged Disciple for me to kill it next turn. Okay, I'm going to need to sweep both of these floors. It's unfortunate I don't have anything thick enough to survive to block Talos here. So I'm thinking Queen's Impling. Molting Imp here, Vent here. Okay. Molten Encasement's fine here. Let's go ahead and Primitive Mold. I can actually make this thing last quite a while. Talos comes in next turn. I could just Molten Encasement the middle of this floor right now, so it actually gets value with the Horned Warrior there. Throwing Train Steward up top's pretty free. Yeah, this is my play. So now Talos takes 2 hits to kill this, another hit to kill that, has to wait 2 turns and then gets to kill that. It's pretty solid. I want to get something with Burnout 1 on that floor so that it dies. Okay. Yeah, the Molting Imp's the only thing that's doing that. It's fine. And then Train Steward with Burnout 1. Blocks there and dies. And we event. Try to make sure we get as many Wickless Tycoon triggers as possible. Money adds up. Give me the encasement. Molten Encasement would have been gas there. Oh. A little more money. Spike of the Hellhorn. I don't have an absurd mana generation mechanism so far. Sacrificial Resurrection is just kind of medium. I actually kind of need all of my cards. Even the mopey ones do a lot for me right now. Reinforce, just not great. Like, I could see decks where you want to play this, but usually it's kind of just a win more. There's Wickless Baron. I'll still take him at this point. And Light of Seraph. This is interesting. The Hurtless Horde is the most valuable thing out of any of these 6, but I can actually use this Merchant of Steel to a pretty great degree. So there's Multi-Strike on Wickless Baron, Endless on the Molten Encasement. Quick I probably don't use. Large Stone I probably would use. Maybe on the Tycoon. Burnout 1 on the Molten Encasement is good. Obviously some mixture of damage and health for my Wickless Tycoon and Baron. It's great. The health is good. This is pretty close. There's a lot of very valuable relics I could hit. And the double card removal's not bad, but this Hellhorn banner is really just 10 gold. Can't afford more units in this build. I think it's left side. Endless on Molten Encasement. Now if I get Burnout on it, that's consistent and insane. Reroll. Okay. Should I health or health damage the Wickless Tycoon? I think the answer is just health. And then I use that as my blocker for the Shardtail Queen. I'll hold on to my upgrades for Wickless Baron till later. have another good looking Merchant of Steel right here anyways. Quick isn't really too relevant in a Molten Encasement build. Alright. Imperialist 2. I like Imparade here. The cost reduction can actually be pretty big for me, but if I take Imparade 1, then I lose the opportunity to get Royalty, which is the rally in my third Dark Forge. So I'm just going to go Imperialist 2 here. Heaven's Seal, that's a toughie. So I'm going to have a floor that's like Horned Warrior, Wickless Baron, and that'll be able to do a lot. My setup floor, which is the Shardtail Queen, Wickless Tycoon, and some occasional Imps is also really strong. There's going to be a floor, I think, that's double clipped Guardian, and that's where I run into a problem. I do have Imperialist 2, which means 2 Imps, 60 damage. Plus, if they're Queen Zimplings, I get their triggers, so that's 80 damage. I should be able to kill one of these. I could really use the artifacts. This deck is not scaling that well right now. And I haven't gotten opportunities for a lot of artifacts, or at least I haven't taken a lot of them. I'm actually tempted to do these two together and leave Horned Warriors for a higher floor, so I can get Wickless Baron going this turn. So Wickless Baron, Shardtail Queen behind him, then a Queen Zimpling. This actually seems fine. Let the Queen Zimpling actually get its hit in. And go and plop a Train Steward on top. Deal with a Collector. Alright. Can throw... Now the problem with throwing Tycoon on top, it gives me money right now. It gives me something tanky on that floor. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown the Train Steward. Nah, if I didn't throw the Train Steward, I wouldn't be in a good spot with these spells right now. Alright, that works. So the problem with throwing this up here right now is if one of these waves does somehow get past, because I don't have Imps for a turn, I can't deal with a Clip Conduit, that might send a Clipped Guardian up to top floor for me to have to deal with. I'm just going to take it. We'll see if we need a reroll on this fight. Wickless Baron is really struggling. He's hurting. Okay, Queen Zimpling can actually go in front to block all of the damage here. That'll help me start getting ahead of that. Do I just go ahead and get rid of Train Steward, throw him here? It means I don't get to put anything on there with my primitive molds on the Relentless fight. I don't care that much to have the Train Steward out of the deck. I'm probably just winning on this floor. Molten Encasement. Endless Molten Encasement helps a lot. I actually kind of forgot I had this. This wave is where things are going to start getting a little dicey. So, if I Molten Encasement, I'm not getting that kill. If I Queen Zimpling, then Queen Zimpling hits here. This guy goes to 45. He dies to the Wickless Baron. 2 here. It's 22 counting here. And then another 60 from this throwing it here. It's 82. I don't think it's enough. Can generate a little more by hitting this Queen Zimpling. Hit the smaller one. So now this is 11, 12, 32 plus 60. I think I'm just short. Yep. So that doesn't get me Molten Encasement down. It's fine. Let's throw this here. It'll die next turn on the brief respite, and then I can play it on bottom floor the following turn. Still get to deal with that floor, which is nice. Let's get a couple more imps in the bin here. Alright. Now just molten encasement, vent, and we're good. I'm not going to threaten this guy going all the way up to the top to try and generate 5 gold off of him dying on top floor. I really wish I had a way to actually use this mana. It does open up a lot of doors for me to take something like a Pyre Chomper and just make a lot of mana. Also, if I reduce cost of my cards with Flicker's Liquor or get a Hell's Banner, there's a lot of things that generate mana in this combo. I think the doors that this opens up are worth a little bit more than the 25 gold. There's a Pyre Chomper. Alright. This is a skip. It's a little late for Subsuming Blade. Memories of the Melted can do something pretty insane here. That's not bad. I'd have to pick up an X spell to actually utilize that to an insane degree. But it will be insane if I pick up one. I think I might actually take the memories. Alright. Try to build some kind of combo deck here. Haven't really gone for a ritual-based deck since I was playing this combo, since I switched over. Some multi-strike, and there's the burnout. Yeah, this is looking great. So I'm going to go ahead and multi-strike. I'm going to go ahead and build up the Wickless Baron with multi-strike and damage, or like multi-strike and reroll to try to find another stack of multi-strike or something like that. Probably just multi-strike damage, so I don't have to reroll the shot. Building him up is nice in case I get the small stone event. I would like to make this Wickless Baron tiny and then start duping him. Alright, now that Molten Encasement triggers every turn, regardless if there's anything to kill it on the floor, which is nice. Okay. Consumed Crown is not great, but it provides me at least a tiny bit of scaling, and it scales very well now with the multi-strike on the Wickless Baron. You can also get a little bit extra damage with Queen's Imblings killing things. They actually do slay when they shoot things with their summon ability. Seal of Aggression should not be a problem. Multi-strike doesn't matter too much when the units aren't hitting you. I could use more artifacts. This should be a little careful. I did just pay a lot of life. Alright. Shardtail Queen plus Molting Imp here. If I didn't get the cost reduction on middle floor, I would be tempted to kind of float this until next turn, try to Shardtail Queen, sweep this floor, and have a Wickless Baron on the floor. But given the state of things, I think I'm just going to go ahead and play bottom floor with it. I can throw a Train Steward to this, save 10 life. And then go ahead and establish Horned Warrior on top in case I need to hit a Collector with it. Alright, there's Wickless Baron. Gonna need to do some work, sir. Oh, can I do enough? I think the answer is yes. I don't have any consumed spells. I just need the Wickless Baron to live. Means I don't get to sweep this floor. I'm wondering if I do just need to make that play I mentioned and not even play Molting Imp on turn 1. We'll see. Wickless Baron's looking a little worse for wear. And I'm taking a pretty sizable hit here. This feels like a reroll. Okay. I think what we can kind of learn from that fight going into the reroll. Obviously, there's the things you can learn about the way the fight played out in a very specific manner, but also just the value of getting Wickless Baron to scale off of these first two Sycophants is actually really, really strong. Give me extra damage output. Don't want to give the first overcharge tank armor, so I'm not going to throw Train Steward away here. Could kind of just chuck him on top row, but I actually have a decent number of things I want to play up here. Oh, can I not keep this alive because of the capacity reduction? I can, just barely. Alright, let's get more Queen Zimplings in the bin here. Man, Wickless Baron's having a rough time. Holy cow. Yeah, I just can't keep him alive. What's the play? Is the play just set up top floor? Ignore other floors, try not to clean things up too much before they get to the top? I'm pretty confident I can win with Shardtail Queen Wickless Baron. I think I'm going to kill the Sycophants this time and let Horned Warrior slow this thing down. I actually do get the Harvest trigger off of the Collector, which is kind of cool. Double block for Horned Warrior while also getting Queen Zimplings down. I could actually get another Harvest trigger just by having her sacrifice a Queen Zimpling. It's not bad. I would rather do it with Impish Scholar, because if I throw Impish Scholar here, she will slay the Collector. Okay. This will get us there. Let's get Pyre Chomper in here, make some mana, and give me the ability to sweep this thing up with Imperialist. One imp here is just enough to keep the Horned Warriors alive for a turn. And then I can throw one here, save a little bit of health on my dude. It's a tough fight. Now that we have the Molten Encasement, I think we're kind of chilling. So I just get to Molten Encasement plus Imps from now on. Would have been nice to get Wickless Tycoon down here this turn, but I'm not sure it's in the cards. I'm just going to go ahead and get him on bottom row and start sacking things. Generate a little bit of money as I go. Train Steward just dies, which is nice. Don't quite get to sweep that one up. Can I make a way to sweep it here? No, I don't think so. Why do I feel like I'm doing... Oh, it's gaining armor is the problem. Okay. For the same reason this overcharged tank is also going to be a bit annoying. It's fine, I'll take a pair of hits there. Can actually just kill the overcharged tank with Steel Pulley Claw, which is nice. Nice little clean sweep here. Alright, we're chilling. A lot of mana. Stealth is very, very strong. It's kind of what we've learned from this entire experiment of using this combo. Resin block doesn't actually do as much here as you would think, because the imps are usually just sacrificed, though I can throw them in front of Shardtail Queen to prevent that. It does power up Molten Encasement, so if I dupe Molten Encasement, they'll be repeatedly sacrificed, and the first one can go in the front of the wave, but the second one can actually go in the middle. I'll take Resin block here. This little damage scaling is more valuable than the 25 gold. Transcend Imp! Oh man. Holy cow. Let's remember that we're making a ludicrous amount of mana. Try to look for ways to use that. I would really like to enlist the Transcendent, but there's not that many things I can get on that side, and I like Health, Herzl's Horde, and the dupe on Molten Encasement. It's all very, very strong. I could even actually see a dupe on Transcendent or Wickless Baron, and just getting that going.
I got it to work. I'm so happy.
Nice.
It took ages and lots of research. I'm so
Hell's Banners make even more mana. Also lets me accelerate my start here. So if I dupe Wickless Baron first, he plays pretty well on a Wickless Tycoon floor and plays well with a bunch of sweepers. But I won't be able to protect them via my Molten Encasement, because I'm just going to play that on my Shardtail Queen floor, probably. If I do Molten Encasement first, I can start playing double Molten Encasement on the same floor. And then I can just dupe Wickless Baron later. Sounds like the play to me. Alright, Hellborn Harvest from our boy here is going to be a little bit annoying. Just got to try to play around it as best I can. I don't have an imp, so I can't sweep this floor this turn. Probably Wickless Tycoon here, set up Shardtail Queen on top, and go ahead and put... Let's go ahead and put Stealth on Shardtail Queen. Now I know I'm not using the crazy amount of mana in this fight, so I'm actually just going to get rid of the Memories of the Melted early. Go ahead and put something in the bin in case I draw Permanent Mold this turn. Or Sacred Wicks for that matter. Okay. So, Baron, Casement. Let's go ahead and just get this Train Steward back. Blocks, generates a little bit of money. It's not bad overall. And this will be Sacrifice Shardtail Queen, which not only deals damage to Argus, but also bumps up the Wickless Baron, which is the main concern right now. Just having him deal enough damage is the most important thing. Okay, Molten Encasement here. I don't need to transcend this floor. I don't really need to transcend any of the floors in particular. I think I'm going to transcend it middle floor. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well Queen's Impling here. Start throwing Horn Warrior down here to soften things up. I can even start Purifying, cleansing him. That'll clean that up, and this will just do a lot in general. Well, makes a lot of mana that I can't use. It also gives me money, a little bit of damage, a block. A lot of little things going on there. I think I'm just going to accept having the one weight of Contrition in my deck. That's just perfectly fine. I sweep this floor without any imps, which is nice thanks to the big fat multi-strike, so just kind of let that happen. I feel so likely to win this fight. I'd rather start just making money, which means killing the Quill Merchant on that floor this turn. Okay, it's a rough hand here. Just make more money. It's a big vent. We want the big vent. Hell, Bradley sending me a photo. Oh, that's interesting. That's a very old picture.
What is it a picture of?
Me playing disc golf. I had to like stand inside a tree to throw a disc, and he got a picture of it.
How old? Oh,
I'm in high school.
I want to see Baby Logan.
That's not baby. I wouldn't say.
That was 10 years ago.
What about 10 years ago was baby Logan?
Baby Logan. I don't know what Baby Logan looks like.
That's not.
Well, I know what toddler Logan looks like. You were adorable.
Wow.
You look just like Stuart Little.
This is not true. This is a lie propagated by the leftist media.
It's absolutely not. Oh no, you were a cute little kid. I look like a cancer patient.
I just played into the
You need
Blooming
to calm
Dark Shard.
down.
That was bad. That was real bad.
Oh no, you've been good looking your whole life. Anything but that.
Make a little bit of money here.
You look like Bradley.
I really like to Polyclaw Arcus. Generate a few hits next turn. It means I vent for less, but I don't really need this vent to be big.
Can I show Chad what Baby Logan looks like? I don't think it'll show up while
I'm a high schooler. That's like...
You look more like Bradley when you were...
That's so distant from
when you
baby.
were like 16 than when you were 24. You were very skinny.
Queen's Implink here will help me kill this.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I was just being nosy.
I know. Trust me, I was there.
You saw nothing? Okay.
A lot of mana.
I figured out how to record this. That's the most important step. Now I have to figure out how to edit each drum individually. I actually know more about doing this than what I was trying to do.
Alright, I think we're skating in with double molten encasement here. Let's just try to make a little bit of money on the way out. Fire Chomper. And a Queen's Implant. Solid. Doesn't really matter where I throw this. Yep. Gotta love just not getting hit by bosses. When they don't fight back is when it's most fun. Impalate does a lot of what I need it to do. I'd still like something to scale up with my mana. But it's just not happening yet. Light of Seraph is still pretty solid here. I could actually use kind of the acceleration from Herzl's Compound to a pretty good degree. What Light of Seraph lets me do is play double Molten Encasement, Wickless Baron, Shardtail Queen, and an Imp on the same floor. It's not bad. I'm going to take Light of Seraph. I think the extra value of getting to play that Imp on that floor is going to be very important. Go left side here. Still a lot of good trinkets to see. Improved Firebox is kind of funny with Broken Horn, but I don't think it's what I need. I'm going to re-roll here before looking at the Dark Forge. This Flicker's Liquor, everything's free. I don't really need everything to be free. I just make so much mana. I think this is all just a big skip. And I just end up with a crap ton of money in the last one. Please give me Rally. No Rally. Oh, damn. I think it's Imperialist 3. The extra health is nice. The extra attack damage is nice. This actually lets me sweep up some larger things if I throw a couple imps in one turn. I'm going here in the next zone. Heaven's Seal is really annoying. I don't need the 400 gold that much. And I'm worried about not being able to kill things here. Let's skip. I don't think getting the 400 gold is going to be as important as just being able to spend the gold I already have, plus the small amount of gold I'm guaranteed, on the things that are really important to me. Things like Endless, good relics like Ashes of the Fallen, Imp Sickle, another Burnout, stuff like that. So I'm probably setting up middle floor. It means that all of these purifiers are going to be giving me self-mutilations for a turn when they come in, but I need to be able to actually sweep them at some point. So to be able to sweep this one, I could just sweep it on second floor, hopefully next turn. Just get a Wickless Tycoon down. Get him down on top. I think I'll be able to clean up a few Gilded Wings. How else am I killing things? I might be Impalading on bottom floor. Probably not Venting. At least not that much. I think I'll be throwing more imps away on bottom floor. I'm going to toss him here. Start building up some stealth. Okay. Bit annoying for that collector to spawn there. In fact, that might just be a reroll fight. Because I need to play Molting Imp here, and that's my only way to deal with that. Okay. Knowing the collector spawns there's very valuable. Though that spawn can change, something to keep in mind. Collector RNG can shift around. Let's go ahead and get rid of the train steward here. Mainly because I know I'm drawing Primitive Mold this turn. Throw the train steward on top, generates 5 gold. Alternatively, I can just do 20 damage with it. I don't think the 20 damage is actually going to be as valuable as 5 gold right now. I'm going to take a hit from this Gilded Wing, and I'm kind of just okay with that. Set up Horned Warrior here. Oh, these Gilded Wings. Bit of a problem. I can go ahead and set up Train Steward in the middle here to hit this Gilded Wing next turn. And then it'll die after that, still generating me the 5 gold. It's not bad. Boons of the Blacksmith are going to save me some life here, which is nice. Unfortunately, it means I don't get to play this Horned Warrior this turn. This thing is going down to 58. It's actually just a few points short. It might be worth venting it. Alternatively, I could vent bottom row to prevent a self-mutilation, but then I just take a little extra damage here. I don't actually have a sweep here right now. I might need to vent middle floor. Can also throw a train steward. Generate a little bit of extra oomph on my Wickless Baron, and also let the tomb hit before it burns out. Alright. You take 2 hits from that one. My ability to deal with Gilded Wings is not great. A lot of that is just I've not hit enough imps so far. Just partly because of the self-mutilations, but also I've just hit Train Stewards a couple times on my Primitive Molds. Take 2 hits from that one as well. A lot of removal spells I could draw. The single Transcendent might actually do enough for me here to deal with that Gilded Wing on top. Transcendent. I want the Transcendent to die. Queen Zimpling, but I can also just throw a Train Steward. The problem is the Train Steward takes a little bit to burn out. Queen Zimpling dies immediately, but it doesn't change the amount that that hits me. I can actually get some of these beefier Train Stewards down bottom though. Yep. Taking another 10. Now I'm kind of set. Set the Queen Zimpling up here. I don't think I'm worried about dying to living armor, and I'd like to get this burnout next turn so I get the extra 5 gold. I can actually also throw a Train Steward here to die. A lot of mana. Alright, let's make... I can't generate 5 gold off of that. I can throw it here though. Yeah, it doesn't help. Okay. I'd need that Pyre Chomper to have burnout. Okay, Inferno, Battering Ram. I'm not making a lot of armor. Certainly possible I could do something with Inferno. I'm not going Magic Store though, so I can't hold it over, which means I can't really rely on it. I'm gonna skip. I do need to get my setup fast and consistently. Fatal Melting might just be necessary here. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm just never getting anything to do with this crazy amount of mana I have. Which means I'm gonna be casting some big vents. Come on, Ashes. Pyrestone Housing is good, and Wax Snuffer is insane. Probably taking both those. Definitely taking the Wax Snuffer. So I might need to be mindful of the amount of gold I spend here. Multi-strike. Does not actually do anything for me. Burnout on Transcendent. I can actually throw... Yeah, let's take the Pyrestone Housing since I saw a multi-strike. And then get a reroll on this. Imp Sickle. Imp Sickle looks good. At this point, what am I duping? I feel like I'm duping Wickless Baron. If I just take Imp Sickle right now, then I don't get the reroll, which means I can't get Endless on my Transcendent. But the Imp Sickle can generate me more Transcendents. Actually allows me to get some things like Welder Helpers into the mix. Just consistent value. Yeah, and I think not having Imps is the way that turns can go awry, not having that sweeping ability. I'll take Imp Sickle. And then dupe on Wickless Baron. All the way down the bottom. Okay, so now my floor is 2 Wickless Barons, Shardtail Queen. Well, maybe Shardtail Queen. That one's a little debatable. So I get 7 capacity, so 2 Wickless Barons, double Molten Encasement puts me to 6, so I only get 1 more slot after that, which might just be throwing away a random imp each turn. It does mean if I'm sweeping units below my Wickless Baron floor that those units are not going to count towards my harvest, but I will be harvesting a decent amount off the random imps I throw away, plus the Molten Encasements dying also counts. This wave is fine, so probably just Shardtail Queen, Welder Helper, get Horned Warrior on this floor to start softening things up. Can throw Queen Zimpling as a blocker or a Train Steward for the same reason. I'm going to be setting up this middle floor, so let's get Horned Warrior on top. Possibly I could set him up down bottom and try to do something just like soften up this Dark Wings for my Wickless Barons next turn. Let's see how this plays out for now. Okay. The Pyre Wings are really, really annoying. Wickless Tycoon is another tank down there. It's fine. I think I'm actually going to use him to tank up here. The Seraph is going to be depositing like wings every few turns. Can actually deal with the Pyre Wings, the first Pyre Wings immediately, which is gas. I will do that. Probably go ahead and get Fledgling Imp down here. I just need to block and save some health up there. Can do the same thing with Train Steward though. Train Steward here. Go ahead and double block here because I'm very likely to draw a Wickless Baron next turn. I'd like to actually harvest that last Light Wing. Alright, be very mindful of my health right now. This Dark Wing's a bit of a problem. I'll just start setting this floor up. Okay, so this Darkwing is currently at 75 health, taking 57. I do not generate enough damage with the single Queen Zimpling. So I'm going to take one hit from this, but I'm actually not going to take two even if I let it get some extra armor, so I might as well tank for the Wickless Tycoon, I think. Alright, taking one hit from that. Really need both my Wickless Tycoons going. I'm drawing these very late in the cycle. And it's a real problem. Okay, I'd like to get more things to die here this turn. But I'd also like to get Slay triggers on the Wickless Tycoons, which they're currently getting a lot of. Could just throw a Pyre Chomper away, and that doesn't change anything, but the Queen Zimpling would. So, Pyre Chomper. Go ahead and chuck a Train Steward here. And even though I will get Ember Drained, I have a lot of mana, so I'm just going to let this Pyre Wing kind of do its thing to my Horned Warrior here. Get the extra damage on it. Okay, there's the first Transcendent. Might send up the Pyre Wings here. I think I'm going to. Kills them pretty cleanly and lets me kill the Gilded Wing anyway, so I'm not really losing triggers here. Molten Encasement. I'm going to transcend him to this floor. Can I get more things to die? I can. Throw a Queen Zimpling up there. Not really doing anything with the Purifying Cleanse. So Queen Zimpling, Molten Imp, Transcend Imp. Get the Pulley Claw back. Throwing Day Stacks on Seraph doesn't actually do an insane amount for me here. Could just kill a Gilded Wing, but I kind of want the second one to go up and die on the Wickless Baron floor. Might as well. I just don't want the Steel Pulley Claw in my deck later on. I can't use it on Seraph when it comes into the train, because then it actually puts it into the Pyre Room. Whereas it can't be put into the Pyre Room before Seraph is actually entered, before this timer finishes. Let's see, we hit. Okay, Welder Helper is good. Just kind of chill with things being eaten here. These are not growing very rapidly. It's a bit of a problem. Fledgling Imp will help a bit this turn. So that fledgling imp is probably going middle row. This fledgling imp goes here, and then transcendent imp is going to go down here. That way it dies. Go ahead and get rid of the pyre wing. It means this gilded wing dies, which is actually a bit annoying. Let's put some day stacks on Seraph. Okay, I can throw pyre chompers to die to these two, give me some extra harvest triggers. That's nice. I don't get to sweep this floor very well if I do that, but I think I'll just be able to clean those up with the Wickless Barons next turn, and that'll generate a lot more damage for me. I could just go ahead and throw just the single Fatal Melting, deal with the Light Wing, and try to just kill both of the tanks next turn. That sounds fine. That's a lot of mana. Alright. I think I'll have that killed very easily on the next floor. Even without the rally triggers, Shark Queen actually managed to soften up Seraph a little bit. Yeah, Seraph doesn't even hit. Could play the Molten Encasements just to really rub it in with the stealth, but kind of just want to watch Seraph not attack. Just get absolutely whooped. Alright.